Did you know that you can build e-signable custom documents in JobNimbus for your clients to sign? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build those in your JobNimbus system. We're going to use a certificate of completion or a notice of completion as an example document, and we're going to walk through all of the steps to build it today. If you don't know me, my name is Michaela Freeman, and I am the Vice President and Operations Expert at Executive Partners. We help clients all over the country improve their operational and financial efficiency, and a large part of that is helping teams optimize their JobNimbus CRM. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. So here you can see my JobNimbus test account that we'll be building this document in. I already have a template built in a Word document, so it'll be really easy to put together, and we'll just go through the steps of how you can build that in your system. So we're going to start by going over into our settings. Now you see under settings documents, that is company documents. That's going to be totally different. So documents is not going to take you to document templates. That's going to take you to company documents, which is a different thing. So we're going to go into settings and go into our templates dropdown and select templates here. So settings, templates, and templates again. So from here, I'm going to add a template and I'm going to select document. So we're going to add a document template. Okay, so now we have a blank document template. So I'm going to title this Certificate of Completion. Great. The name of that document is going to be an internal title. You can name that whatever you like and build the document here. The document itself is what your clients will see. So the first thing I typically want to do at the top of my document is add my company logo. So we've got these template fields here. We're going to use these several times through building this document, but I typically start with the company information here and add in my company logo. This is going to pull your company logo from your general settings, the company logo that you added into the system. I'm going to go a couple sections down and center that up. All right. Now I am going to right align and I am going to add in some information here. So I'm going to put in my hypothetical company phone number, 888-8888. Beautiful. And then it's going to be address, city, state, and zip. Now, if you have your address built into company information, you can also use the company address here and fill that in there, or you can write it in, whichever you prefer. And then website.com. Put your website in. Perfect. So now I need the title of my document. So I'm going to make a little space and center align. And we're going to do company, put your company name, notice of completion, or certificate of completion, whichever you want to call it. Great. So I am going to add in a little bit of text here. So and then I want my client's name. So here we're going to use a little bit of these template fields to put in your client's name, your client's address, and a few other things that we'll need for this document. Using these template fields is going to allow that when you generate this document inside the job, you will not have to enter the client's name, the client's address, etc. It is going to populate that for you. So that's what we're trying to do here. So if you are using contacts only and not using jobs, you're not going to have these job sections and you're just going to jump down to contact. If you are using jobs, then we're going to go to job primary contact and choose display name. Display name. And it's going to fill that in here like so. I'm also going to left align this. So it's going to say job primary contact display name. Perfect. Like I said, if you are using contacts and not jobs, then you would come down to this contact section and choose display name. If you are using jobs and building these documents in your job file and you select the contact one, it will not populate a name. So we're going to say primary contact. I'm going to fill in a little bit of pre-written information in here. I'd really like for that to match. Great. Okay. hereby certify that all the contractual obligations have been met and completed to our satisfaction at the property location of, and now I need the address of the work that we've completed. So that's going to be our job address. So again, I'm going to go up to my template field so that this doesn't have to be typed in by your project manager, sales rep, whomever is getting this signed. And again, I'm going to go down to job. So just the one that says job. I have address line 1, make a little space. Job again, address line 2, comma, job again, city, comma, job again, state, space, and job, job, and zip. That is going to auto-populate all of the address information from your job file. So it will auto-fill in the address that you completed the work, and then I'm going to throw a little parentheses, location of work completed. Completed. Perfect. Okay, then I need the property owner name. I will need the property owner signature, and I'm going to need the date that they signed it. So in order to put in the name, I just want it to be the contact display name. I just want it to be their typed out name. So I'm going to use that same item. It doesn't matter if you pull it from here or if you copy and paste it like that. It will work either way. And then in the property owner signature section, we're going to go back up to this insert template field. And then in the built-in section, which is our first option, you're going to see signature area. So I'm going to add that signature area option right here next to property owner signature. And then for the date, they don't have a fill-in for the date that the document is signed. So I typically do either date created or date modified. I typically do date modified. That way it'll be the most recent update to that document. Okay, and then at the bottom, I'm going to add in a little notice to the property owner that I have pre-typed. I'd like that to match. There we go. All right, so obviously we would fill in the company name here, but this is all you have to do. You can do some formatting things, like you can make this a little larger, maybe even a little bit larger than that. Yeah, so any formatting that you want to do here, but this is going to work pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this template. I'm going to click add template. You also have a preview of this document down below. I'm not doing anything crazy, and it's not going to show you that logo until we actually generate the document, so we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to add my template. Oh, okay. 2. That's fine. I've already created this template in this account. So now we're going to test it. So we're going to go to our test job. Every single job in this system is a test, so we'll just open one. All right. All right, so if you have not created any documents in your job file, then we're going to start by going up to our 3 dots inside the job file. Again, we did build that template for the job file, so make sure if you are using jobs that you're not building that in the contact. So we're going to go down and create document. This create document button is going to change our screen to look like this. Then we have choose a design template. All right. Oh, hold on. I just built that template, so I need to refresh my screen so it sees it. Here we go. Quick refresh. Create document. And now we have certificate of completion that was already in my system and certificate of completion 2, which we just built together. So I'm going to generate certificate of completion 2. As I've generated this now, it has not pulled that information. So we still don't have the logo that I can see. I still can't see the customer information yet, the address, etc. But I'm going to move my picture over here. And at the bottom, I have this create document. If you need to make any changes to this document, you can do so here. You can type into this document. It is editable at this point. You can type into it if needed. So if you want to add any additional info into your certificate of completion about changes or final inspection date or any other details that you want to add in, you can add in something that the project manager or sales rep would type into the document. That's totally fine. But for my purposes, I typically prefer to have this be kind of a set it and forget it kind of thing. So in this example, I don't need to fill anything in. It's going to do it all for me. So I'm going to create my document. and it's going to generate my document. Now this can be done in mobile as well. Here's my EP logo, executive partners. So this can be done in mobile as well. If it is done in mobile when we add signers, which we'll do here in just a moment, you will be able to sign, you will have a sign now option that we are not going to see here. But that sign now option will allow for your homeowner to digitally sign this exact document on the mobile version of JobNimbus. That is not going to be visible here because I am working on the desktop version. So I also like to mention that it looks a little grainy here. Once we send it to the customer, or once we open this document in the Documents tab of our job file, it's going to look nice and clean and sharp. So don't be concerned by the look of this here, but you can see that it's got my client's name, Sally Test, in here, the address of this project, their name again, and a signature space and the date that I have generated this document. So my last step is to add signers. Your contact will have to have an email for this to work. So if this does not work, the reason is your contact may not have an email in their contact file. So I'm going to select my related contact here. Yes, I want to send that request. And I believe that is going to a bogus email. So we're going to go back to our job file. So as I go back to my job file, you can see that I have my certificate of completion here requested. And if I go to my Documents tab, I can also see that document here, open that up. It'll be saved without the signature. As soon as that document is signed, you'll immediately see that here in the job file with a signature. You will not have to upload that document. It will automatically be saved with the signature. You'll also see this change from requested to signed for the signature status. So you'll see that as well. That is Documents. Once you have created a document in this job file, you now have this handy Create Document button, which will take you to that same page, and you can create another document for your job. So as always, if you have any questions, leave a comment, and thank you so much for watching.